sword of Mercury. So today, I'm going to be rambling as I did in my last video, but we'll also be talking about the solar system, specifically in terms of how this appears in various forms. Like, we see it in atoms, we see the solar system in the actual solar system, and then we have the solar system, the soul. So that's really what I want to get into today, and why, like, this actually might be, if you give me like 10 minutes, maybe 15, this will be like maybe the most important video you've ever watched in your life concerning your perception of reality. And why, you'll find out why all like the rich people, all the elites, they use like astrology and blah 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 and like a cult and all this stuff to control the world. And I'll show you basically how they manipulate what is supposed to be used for the divine art in their ways. So I'll still have like my triggers and stuff like that. You guys should let me know which triggers you like. I tried to include like more in the last video and stuff like that. But in any case, it's called like what typically people like use a lot of times in a cult nowadays and referred to as black magic is what's known as the left-hand path. We're talking about the right-hand path, which is basically in relation to the concept of celestial magic as it's known. And essentially what that means, celestial magic, is relation to the planets and the stars and the angels and that type of celestial hierarchy energy. And basically, if you're familiar with like Revelation, a lot of the works which revolve around Revelation, like knowledge of the angels, especially the archangels and the planets and spheres and whatever. Maybe if you're into theosophy and anthroposophy, you're also aware of these things. But basically, each of these planets represent a relation of our being. So for example, Saturn represents the physical body, represents structure and materiality, matter, and that's why it's typically known as a planet of discipline and time and cycles and stuff like that. Or rather, like almost a boundary, really. So it's like the thing that allows for restriction. So for you to learn something or move within a certain system, right? I'm not gonna get into the all occult stuff of Saturn in terms of like, you know, the big bad elites, the big bad wolves using this, but in essence, Saturn's related to physicality of things. The moon, you can see there, is related to emotion and instinct. So if somebody makes you feel a certain emotion, you typically feel that within your body. When you feel happy, you feel that within your body. When you feel sad, you feel that within your body. When you feel fear, you feel that within your body. And like other emotions too, like, you know, contentment, relaxation. Relaxation's much more of a sensual emotion, meaning you can feel it really. I would say relaxation and fear are really one of those ones you can physically sense very pronouncedly. And it explains why you need it for survival, right? So these are all survival mechanisms, really. So Saturn, physical body, moon is the emotional, instinctual body. Mercury, as the channel says, is related to mentality. Important thing to note about mentality is it's related to men. This is really the anointed energy of man. In like, I'm relating to like masculine like qualities and masculinity and guys here. Specifically because Saturn, though it's a masculine energy, moon's a feminine energy. Mercury is a masculine energy again, but it's the refined version of a masculine energy. Almost think of it like, you know, like Saturn is almost like base material like lead, Mercury is like gold. It's like a transformed version of that metal, right? Something has been alchemized and refined and transmuted into a more pure form. And that's why it's called mentality and is related to men, because it starts with M-E-N, mentality. So this really governs how you view the world in a more objective state, as opposed to whatever emotion you just feel in the present moment. So this is really what governs your perception of the world. Venus, related to magnetism, and what I mean by this is related to like the soul. It's related to the soul. The soul is magnetic, and that's why typically when you feel something is in divine alignment with yourself, you will say, oh, I feel aligned with that, or I feel that this resonates with me, or I feel like, it's destined. Why? It's because there's a magnetic polarity there which attracts you to that thing. So, and this is really related to that, like, deep sense of aura, what they talk about with aura in relation to things like, oh, I feel drawn to that thing, or I feel like an innate attraction or repulsion to something. This is the same thing, Venus magnetism. So basically, that's why it's really tied to love. And I've explained this before too, that when you're in love with something, and this is not just like romantic love, but also like conceptual love. So like, I always use this analogy, like for me, like, you can say, oh, I'm training in boxing or whatever, but after you say that for a long enough period of time, after you've boxed for a long enough period of time, or done any kind of sport or art for a long enough period of time, you say, I am a boxer, I am an artist, I am whatever, The whole point is that I am now becomes fused with that concept, so that magnetism attracts that thing, boxing in this case, in this example, as a sport, something now that is fused with you as an individual. I am a boxer because I've done that so many days in my life, over and over and over and over again, that becomes an integrated part of your personality. I am a martial artist, I am a fighter, I am a philosopher. Same thing, right? So you fuse with that concept. That's the importance of Venus. It's not just romantic love and the principles around romantic love, that being genuine connection with someone, and that translates really into all of these, right? You can even give an example, Venus and the moon. So the moon governs emotionality and sexuality and sensuality. Typically, those are something you would want to experience with your soulmate or twin flame or counterpart in a magical sense. But if you're just lusting over somebody, it's not really being used to its full potential. When you love somebody truly, deeply, that brings it out to its full potential, and there's a magical, mystical quality to that. That's what this is. It's heightening this and bringing out your emotionality to its full potential. So that's the importance of actually having valued relationships and stuff. If you have ever read Revelation in the Bible, and go and read Revelation 1 and 2, specifically in relation to the church of Thyatira, which is related to Venus, which is a church that governs love. And it says that that which I hold against you is that you tolerated that woman Jezebel. Basically, she's a slut, and she sleeps around, and she teaches sexual immorality as opposed to sexual morality. Sexual morality is what you need to bring out all these things, and that will in turn strengthen your aura, strengthen all of these planets, and bring them out to its full potential, because it's about principles, right? That's what love is about. It's about principles. Sun. So sun is really, why is it the center of the solar system? Because it's the center of your soul. It's your spirit. Here you can see here, sun, spirit. So you can almost think of Venus like your soul, sun is like your spirit. So that's why Venus is the hottest planet in the solar system. Regardless of that Mercury is closer, Venus is actually hotter. It's hotter because it traps that heat in its atmosphere. So the basis of this, Venus is the soul, the sun is your spirit. So sun is obviously the hottest, most magnetic, most electric, most gravitational in the solar system, and is related to vibration. And that's why everybody in traditional like modern day now says, oh, I'm manifesting this, or I'm vibrating in tune with this, or I'm vibrating in alignment with this, whatever. That's where this is coming from. Sun has to do with vibration, and when you're on the vibration, all of these elements will gravitate towards that, because it is the center of the solar system. It's the center of your spirit. It's the center. It's beyond the soul, right? It's like if a soul was in a higher dimension than you, the spirit is in a higher dimension than the soul. That's why it's the center of the solar system. Mars, light. So why do they refer to if you've ever seen in like biblical pictures, Samael, who is sometimes confused with Satan or the adversary or Lucifer, he's not that, but he is the accuser. And what that means is he's almost somebody who's he comes and sets down the divine law to say, you have been accused of this crime, right? And that's why he's tied to Mars and light. And Mars is all about keeping the peace, but there can be no peace if divine law, as you might say, is not upheld. So he really is based off ensuring that those people who have committed sins against the divine law are prosecuted, if you will say. So that's why it's tied to light, and it relates to the third eye and your ability to see, right? So this is basically spiritual warfare at its highest sense, because light allows you to see everything around you. And if you cannot see that which is obstructing you, say for example, you're somebody who wants to create a business or wants to create a network of entrepreneurs or whatever. If you can't see the opportunity to create a business in front of you, in the sense of talking to this person and getting them involved in your business, or reaching out and inviting people to collaborate with you, or seeking out and acting on opportunity, if you're not aware that that opportunity exists, you will not pursue that opportunity. So Mars is all about awareness and your ability to see past illusion. But if you have been accused of these divine crimes, then you cannot see. That's what it's doing. It's attacking your ability to see. So that is where Samael comes in. He is the one that's why his name is Venom of God, or Poison of God, because the poison of God is the light which doesn't allow you to see. It obstructs your vision. So light is an ever-expanding thing, but you don't want to be blinded by the light. That's what he does. He blinds you with the light, so you can't see opportunity. But if you are in alignment, if you are doing the right things in divine alignment, your vision will not be obstructed. And contrast to Samael, you have here on Mercury, which is my channel, is Michael, who is almost you can think of Samael as a divine prosecutor. Michael is the divine defense, the one who will defend you in court and say, well, my client has done these things, and basically he will protect you, because he will this is the things that you have done, right? And he will defend you. So he is the divine defender. In essence, though, Mars is tied to prosecution and divine warfare, military might. And if you are going to attack someone spiritually, this is what you use. It's almost like the difference between Mars is very much like if you are in a 12-round fight and you land that big Mars is that one punch that changes the whole dynamic of the fight around. That's why it's related to light, because light is fleeting. It comes and goes very quick, but it's very powerful because it is fast. So that is Mars. Jupiter is kind of this balancing force. It relates to the concept of entanglement. Entanglement is important because anytime that you have a thought in your mind, you are entangling with something in the field. This is why every time you have a thought, every time you have an emotion, every time you create an emotional charge in the field, you are entangling with something. So, this is like an element basically beyond light. This is why it's related to understanding, because it's your comprehension, your ability to understand things. This is why once you have this, you have the key to all reality, because Jupiter really is related to that understanding that everything I could possibly want from the world exists in a world that already is out there in the multiverse. So if I conceptually understand that based on the decisions that I will take, that reality already exists out there, I just need to align with it. Once you understand that that already exists, that is the energy of Jupiter, understanding that everything I want already exists, and it's just a matter of getting there by your decisions and all the things that relate to this. So, from the beginning now, with feeling, Saturn is about physical body. It's about the structure of your body and the structure of material things. The moon relates to emotion, relates to instinct, relates to what you feel within your body that gives that body almost animation and feeling, and like that current that you get from the moon, right? Next is Mercury, related to mentality, so the fire that burns within your soul. That's why Mercury is the closest to the sun, because it is almost like that element of your mentality that can cut through illusions. That's why it's always Michael's seen with his sword, the flaming sword, because the iron, Mercury, the planet, is on fire, and Mercury is built of what? It's iron, it's an iron planet. The whole planet is iron. There's no atmosphere, it's just iron. So the flaming sword, with it being close to the sun, is Michael's sword. So that relates to mentality. The sword is your mentality, and that's why it's the most powerful. Venus, relating to the soul, relating to love. So it's the potential that you have to hold up your sword. Almost think of it like, if you've ever watched anime, it's like Inuyasha cutting through the wind scar. Yeah, you can only do it if the Tetsaiga is light enough. So when the Tetsaiga is light enough, you can raise up your sword of Mercury, cut through the wind scar, and blast all the demons away. So, but you can only do that if you're in alignment with the principles of your heart, because being in alignment with your soul, it makes everything lighter. It makes your soul lighter, and therefore it makes your sword lighter, and you can hold up the sword and cut through the wind scar, blast all the demons away. I know this sounds like gibberish, me rambling on here, but I promise you it's not. Only the people who are probably under spiritual psychosis or are as insane as me will understand. If you're as insane as me, you will understand. If you're as insane as me, you'll understand. If you are as insane as me, you'll understand. So, after Venus, you get the sun, which is vibration. That is the old man who bestoweth the sword unto you, bestoweth the sword unto his son, that being Michael. So, center of the solar system, the divine creator of all things. You know what I'm talking about. The embodiment of the right-hand path himself. So, we will not say that three-letter word, Mr. G-O-D himself, but you know, if you know. So he bestoweth unto you, he bequeathed to you the sword, just like as I am a divine messenger, like Michael, I bequeathed to you the sword, or I am the instrument that bequeathed to you the sword. But basically, Father, he giveth to us the sword. He giveth to his son the sword. That's why the sword is related to fire and electricity and all this. Mars, the light. So the divine prosecutor, he governs your ability to see. Like I said, I already kind of explained this. So the light that is the insight of your soul's ability to see into the field. And then Jupiter is your soul's understanding that it is limitless in its potential. Your soul can do anything. It's just about understanding that everything already exists out there. You just need to align your being with that understanding that it already exists. It's just about you getting to that place. And all you have to do that is entangle with it and then move your bodies in such an alignment which you are aligned with that thing. And again, this is seen in the atom, it's seen in the solar system, it's seen inside our magical bodies, because that really is the thing that connects these two, the solar system and the atom, together. And that's why the whole cosmos is a tapestry of never-ending cycles of fission and fusion. Like in physics, fission is the splitting of the atom, fusion is the conjunction of the atom. Fission you see in reactors, fusion you see in the stars. So in essence though, these are really important because that same phenomenon is happening within inside you. So whether you realize it or not, and this is why I emphasize everybody having an understanding of what magic is, because the fact is, this is going on within inside your body, whether you want it to or not. And this is what they've been using to create the system, the matrix around you. And if you don't understand this, you cannot combat or exert your will inside that matrix. So, in essence though, this is going to happen whether you're aware of it or not. All I'm doing is giving you the blueprint so that you can do as you wish to exert your will. Exert your will. Exert your will. And I know that if you are watching this, you are a fully capable warrior. You are fully capable warrior. You are a fully capable warrior. So strong, so strong, so strong. Just like yours truly. I myself am a fighter, and I know if you are here watching this, then you are also a fighter. And you have seen this because it is divinely in alignment for you to see, and for you to use, and for you to bring out your full potential, and for you to ascend to your full being. And you can beat them. You can smite down all your enemies. You can take back what is rightfully yours, your divine essence, your birthright, your sword, your flaming sword. It belongs to you. I give it to you so you can have it and destroy your enemies with. Because you deserve that. You deserve to destroy your enemies. You deserve to make the world in your image. And I am here to see that you do just that. Why? Because you are on my side. You're watching this video, so you're on my side. All of you are on my side, and I'm on your side, and we're all going to overthrow the Matrix together. I think my insanity has peaked in this video. But in essence, everything I'm speaking, though, is completely true. I don't question that for a second, but my enthusiasm in terms of my ability to explain this has peaked into primal insanity and spiritual psychosis and delusionalism and all of that schizophrenia. What else? Schizophrenia, psychosis, autism, all of that has peaked. Psychosis maxing. I'm terming that right here, right now, psychosis maxing. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more psychosis maxing and ASMR and ASMR form, and you would like me to talk more about magic, because of course, as you know, I am the top sorcerer, I am the Prince of Mercury, I am the Prince of all alchemy, I am the Prince of the Flaming Sword, and I bequeath it unto you. I bequeath to you the Flaming Sword. Also, all of us shall have the Flaming Sword. And this is all inside your being, and that's what they mean by the temple of the heavens are within, because they are the Church of Ephesus, the Church of Smyrna, the Church of Pergamos, the Church of Thyatira, the Church of Sardis, the Church of Philadelphia, the Church of Laodicea. If you want to know more, check out Revelation 2 and 3 and read those passages in the Bible. It goes over all the churches. Most people who have read the Bible or claim to be religious or claim to be, Bible experts have not even deciphered this. The Bible in Revelation 2 and 3 will give you everything you need in the right-hand path. The reason it's called the right-hand path is because it's linked to the left brain. Left brain is all about light. The right brain is about darkness, and that's why it's related to the left-hand path. The body is cross-wired, and that's why the right-hand path is related to the left brain, and the left-hand path is related to the right brain. In essence, though, like and subscribe right here on the Sword of Mercury. If you want to see more content, check out my other channels in the description below. Check out my channel, Moonstruck, if you want to see podcast form, as well as my channel, Athlete Enlightened, where I talk about fitness stuff, and there I do come across more sane than I do here, because here I can just let my insanity loose and be completely authentic. There I'm a bit more structured with the way I present things. But if you like things about raising your testosterone, mentality, willpower, how to achieve your fitness goals, how to get in shape, check out Athlete Enlightened, as I said in the description below. Check out my social medias, Instagram at top_sorcerer, same thing for TikTok, blah 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 blah. In the description below, like and subscribe, help support the channel, because we are going on a big long journey together, and I want to make sure that you are as successful and as powerful and as ready to take over the world as humanly possible, or as spiritually possible. As I said, like and subscribe. Prince of Mercury here. Thank you for watching. I love you, I love you, I love you.